Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. And another best of the week video, starting with Deontay Wilder, who says he is healthy, now pain-free. And as you can see here, he is looking to return with a bang, as reported by Boxing Scene. So as we know, he will be returning June 27, facing Tyrell Anthony Herndon. So it's a comeback of sorts, although that Deontay Wilder is not really couching it in that way. In terms of what he is saying, he says, I'm going to feel amazing. You know, my mind is back, my spirit, physically I'm back, I'm free of injuries now. They used to call me Windmill Wilder. I don't have that windmill no more. I got that MF now. Yeah, I had 2 surgeries on my shoulder. It cost me in previous fights to be injured at least 3 to 4 years of my career. I had to do what I had to do, you know, I still had to go out and do what I wanted to do. I could have sat around for years and tried to heal the shoulder up, and anybody know anything about a shoulder injury, they know that's like one of the most longest recoveries. And every time I lifted my arm or threw my right hand or even wiped my arm, my shoulder were hurt. I was in pain 24 hours a day, but still trying to have regular lifestyle of living. You know what I'm saying? You can't let it irritate you or bother you the rest of your life. You've got to be able to adapt to the pain and the situation and still have some type of natural ability in carrying on with life. Couple of things with that. That's like a whole bundle of inbuilt excuses to explain away his performances. Deontay Wilder has won like 1 fight in the past 5 years. So he will say and is saying that his shoulder has impacted his career, but he had to go out there. So, I mean, the other side of that coin is if he was really that injured and sort of hobbled by it, did he also kind of con the fans by presenting that he was having good camps and that he was in the best shape of his life? I did say about 4 or 5 years ago when Wilder said that he would look to fight until he is 40, because of even to that point, you know, there was the elbow, the right arm, right hand injuries, several surgeries, that if he fought all the way to 40, which looks like he is going to do, that he was going to lose a lot of fights, and injury would be a big cause of the slowdown and ultimate sort of tail off of his career. And it sort of has come to fruition in terms of he's admitting he's been fighting hurt. Well, this is what he is saying. I think, though, Deontay Wilder, he's fallen off. So he can say what he wants, but I think, you know, we'll get a good look at Deontay Wilder on the 27th of June against Tyrell Herndon. But there is certainly a number of excuses that he's built in to sort of explain away performances there. The thing is, he was Windmill Wilder way before he was, you know, in recent years. He was Windmill Wilder in the 2010s when he was coming up, and also when he sort of started his championship career. So they didn't call him that because, you know, I mean, the thing is, Wilder had always windmill. He'd just go crazy with that thing. So, I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like a whole lot of hogwash. Justis Huni and Fabio Wardley, they've come face to face. Huni, a replacement opponent for Jarrell Miller, who had to pull out due to injury. So this is the fight that is in early June, June the 7th at Ipswich. And they've had a press conference to announced a few weeks ago. Frank Warren says that he thank you again, Ipswich, for making this happen. We've still got a great fight, and we've got a great fighter in Fabio who will defend his interim title against the number 1 in the WBA. This is going to be something a little bit special. I really feel that Fabio has shown what he's all about, and in every fight he's had, everybody's been on the floor. They've all tasted the floor. He certainly doesn't want to lose that run he's got, and we feel the beating of Justis Huni is a really, really good fighter, a quality fighter. Eddie Hearn says, firstly, okay, we'll move on. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy and I'm sad. I'm happy that Justis is going to get his chance to announce himself on the world stage. But just a little bit sad for Fabio, because I think that he would beat Jarrell Miller, and I was quite looking forward to seeing it. And now we've got to go and ruin everything, the dream, the fairy tale, and it's a tough one because he is a lovely, lovely fella. And now we get on with Frank. Wardley says, a change of opponent, but the same venue. same occasion for me, and it will be the same outcome. Look, it's the homecoming I've been asking for a very long time. We've had it going the first time around with Miller, who unfortunately had to pull out. But Frank, the team over there, credit to them, pulled the cat out of the bag and got another great contender. Number one in the WBO, me number one in the WBA, so basically number one versus number one, just without the belts. The winner will have the chance to get his hands on those belts, so that's what June 7 will be about, and it will be the full focus. I understand he's taking the fight on short notice, but I probably urge him to do a bit more homework. If you think all I've got is power, is going to be a rough night for you, even if that is the case, you only have to look at the likes of Deontay Wilder, who did pretty well having just power. Justis Huni says, this is my coming out party, to show the world who I am. What better way to do it on a massive stage like this in Fabio's hometown? I'm coming here to bring an upset, and I just can't wait to get in there now and put on a show for all of the fight fans and everyone who will be tuning in. I think the only thing he has over me is power, but every other box I tick. Footwork, speed, putting my punches together in bunches. I believe I tick all the boxes, and I cannot wait to get it on. I think one thing that Justis Huni is, maybe it's not on his side. One, he loves to get in a tear-up, and he is open to taking shots, and he can be a little bit loose defensively. So while he puts his shot together, great speed, he's got decent footwork and really good fundamentals. He is defensively sometimes irresponsible and does tend to get clipped in his fights. And some of the opponents, not the biggest punches that he's faced, and I think Wardley has more pop. So he's going to have to, I think, be a bit more nuanced and a little bit more smart in this fight with Wardley, because he can find himself looking up from the canvas at Wardley standing over him at some point. And actually, Huni has been in the UK after this, staying on. He was at the Dave Allen and Johnny Fisher fight night, trying to build a little bit of hype for this fight. Feels like, there's one question. Is this for a stadium fight with Wardley, who, just outside looking in from a different country here to the United Kingdom? Is his name big enough to have a stadium fight at this point? I just don't know about that. And especially because there's not a big name opponent who's still somewhat unproven, especially at world level, in Justis Huni. How are fans going to react to this? I'll be watching. I'm sure you guys will be watching. But, the casual public, is this going to ignite their hunger for this fight? I don't know. It's a question. We'll have to see. Frazer Clarke, he says he's got a lot of respect for Johnny Fisher and his family. They're really nice people. But when it comes to me and him fighting, we're worlds apart and I'm miles ahead of him. And I saw this and I thought, I wonder how this became news, because I think Frazer Clarke is ahead of him. And as we know, Johnny Fisher at this point, he just lost to Dave Allen, got stopped. So, yeah, I guess it is what it is. And you've got Johnny Fisher's father in the comments here saying, nice phrase. I do think that Frazer Clarke would fancy a win over Johnny Fisher if they fought at any point in their career. I think he's just got better fundamentals. He's a better boxer. He would school Johnny Fisher, but it's probably not even worth having that conversation. Maybe the better one to have, and I mentioned this in my post-fight review of the Fisher and Allen fight, should Allen be looking to have a rematch with Frazer Clarke? Because obviously the first time around, Clarke was it was a workmanlike performance, and Allen got an injured, perforated ear, retired after 5 rounds. But Dave Allen, up and down, sometimes he can put in better performances on some nights rather than others. And if he's reinvigorated, as it were, I just think that Dave Allen, we're going to have choppy performances. Sometimes, depending on the matchups, he's going to like it. He's going to fancy it. It will play into his strengths, as a la Johnny Fisher did. But someone like Frazer Clarke, maybe not so much. You've got an announcement with Alexis Barriere, the recent Matchroom fight signing. He will be facing Ronnie Hines for the WBC Continental Americas Heavyweight title, added to the Hitchens vs. Kambosos Jr. card on June 14. And is it just me? I'm sort of stepping out of my lane here on heavyweights, but how does Kambosos keep getting these opportunities? Haven't we seen enough of him? But Alexis Barriere on social media says, I'm grateful to my team for this opportunity, to DAZN, Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith at Matchroom, Yvonne Michelle at GYM and Brian Peters. I'm excited to fight at MSG in New York on such a big stage. I'm working very hard in Florida in camp with my trainer Sugar Hill. It will be a battle of the 2 unbeaten fighters, so I'm expecting a tough fight, but I know that that's when I'll be at my best. The bigger the challenge, the better I will perform. And Ronnie Hines, he's certainly been a fighter who's been sitting around waiting for opportunities in his career, haven't really come. Alexis Barriere getting a bit of a promotional push now that he's with Matchroom. He's been a little bit up and down in terms of some of the fights and the performances that he's put in recent years, but he is a very, technically, he's a pretty good boxer, but sometimes I just wonder if the aggression is there. But more recent performances, he's looked good, so looking to sort of see how he progresses. And after the Hines fight, they're going to need to sort of step it up just a little bit. Also, Dimitri Salita announcing Brandon Moore versus Stanley Wright. This will be on June the 6th. This is a card at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. And rounding out this heavyweight news mashup video, or should I say best of the week. So you've got the American prospect Joshua Good Edwards, who's currently 1-0, recently had his pro debut. He is with Golden Boy. He's going to be out again on the 30th of May. And he said he's calm, ready, and dangerous. Well, Golden Boy has promoted it. So yeah, interesting prospect. It's going to be interesting to see sort of how he's brought along. At the moment, apart from Richard Torres in the top rank stable, Jared Anderson, top rank as well. You've got other fighters who are at various stages of their career, but sort of maybe not quite at the top level. Jermaine Franklin, Stephen Shaw, there are some others. Will Joshua Edwards be able to be brought along and maybe break through and do something? That's a big question at the moment. Who is the next guy for the American heavyweight scene? Who's going to be challenging for a title anytime soon? Certainly a question mark. Maybe Richard Torres. It's an open question. The ranks and the stocks are looking a little bit thin. But for Edwards, no rush, no hurry. We'll have to see how he's brought along the next 2 or 3 years. But what do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.